This is a quick look at the bandsaw blade change on the Ellis bandsaw. Step 1, press the emergency stop, then raise the head and lock it in position. Step 2, open both of the doors by simply pulling and make sure they're locked in position. Step 3, loosen the blade tensioning handle. Push in on this as you're loosening it. It's not necessary to loosen it more than 5 or 6 turns. The blade should now be slack. Next, push down on the blade to remove it from the guide rolls. The next step is to grab the blade at the top of both wheels, pull the blade tight, and remove it from the top of the saw. Now the blade can be slid out underneath and discarded if necessary. Next, select the appropriate blade. 4 to 6 teeth per inch for most material we cut in the shop, but 3 to 4 teeth per inch for thicker sections, anything greater than 2 inches thick. Next, we need to unwrap the blade. Remove the twist ties, save them in case you're saving the old blade. Then we have to uncoil the blade. To uncoil the blade, open the blade up so that there is a loop in the middle, a free loop. Grasp that loop with your loose hand. Let the open ends pop open, and then open the blade. Do not toss the blade onto the floor and let it fly open. The bandsaw blades will almost always be inside out, so they have to be flipped. But you can check this by holding the blade against the saw to see if the teeth are headed in the right direction. If I hold the blade up against the saw, even with the plastic strip on, I can see the teeth are headed that way, and they need to head this way. So we need to flip the blade inside out. To flip the blade inside out, leave the plastic on or use gloves and simply roll the blade in on itself and then follow down with your hands. The blade will flip to the correct orientation. Now, we're going to remove the plastic from the blade. The plastic simply peels off the edge, and this exposes the sharp blade. With the edge exposed, carefully place the blade on the saw, starting at the bottom. Press the blade down and push it into the saw. Being careful to move slowly, so if the blade pops out, it doesn't hit you in the face. Once the blade is approximately on the saw, and then you can begin to tighten the handle on the outside. As I tighten the handle on the outside, watch the blade near the top. The blade will be pulled tight and it will become parallel to this orange guide. It may be necessary to remove the wire brush from the blade as it tends to get in the way. Continue to tighten the handle until the blade comes straight off of the wheel and is parallel to the orange guide. Once the blade is reasonably tight, we need to twist the blade into the guide rolls. You will want gloves for this. There is only a 1/1000th of an inch clearance, so the blade needs to be basically straight up and down. Grasp the blade with both hands and twist close to the wheels. And when it's twisted up in, it will slide into place. The next step is to remove the emergency stop and press the start button for a few seconds. Then stop the saw. In order to set proper tension on the blade, the teeth of the blade have to be off the tire. So we have a rim or a wheel and a rubber tire. Right now, the blade is running on the rubber tire, the teeth, and they will chew that tire up. So we're going to start the blade a second time, and we're going to tighten the tension handle on the outside edge while we watch this blade. We want the teeth to be off the tire. While it's turning, slowly increase the tension, a quarter of a turn at a time, allowing the blade to run a complete cycle before you make another adjustment. I'm going to stop the blade. After the blade is run, check the edge. There should be 1/8 of an inch approximately from the bottom of the gullet to the tire. Right now, the bottom of the gullet is almost on the edge of the tire, so it needs to be a little bit tighter. I'll start the blade and give it another quarter turn. After making the adjustment, allow the saw to run for a few seconds and then stop. We now have approximately 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of the gullet to the edge of the tire. The tension is set correctly. The last step is to close the covers. Press the locking lever up to release it, and then press the cover closed. The next step is to run in the blade. If we don't do a proper run-in procedure on the blade, which is incredibly sharp from the factory, will begin to cut in one direction or the other. So for the first approximately 5 to 10 minutes of cutting time, you want to set the feed rate a little bit lower than normal so that the blade can go down through the material very slow and methodically, and that will allow both edges of the blade to be rubbed against the steel and burnished at the same rate, allowing you to cut straight and true as long as the blade shall last.